You know, fam, it's been way too long since we recorded a good old-fashioned Nikki team-themed Triumphant Life episode, and I want to do that today. Today, I want to talk about you doing really big things in this world. You know, growing a big business, building a brand, chasing your dreams, and disrupting. I want to chat about, the process of doing that, because as you probably are experiencing now, or maybe are about to experience, it's a lonely solo sport. And when you start chasing your dreams, I don't know what it is about you going and doing something different and trying to outgrow your current circle and trying to build something big and having this mission for a different life. I don't know what it is about that art that people, not only haters, not only trolls online, which they'll comment and they'll DM you stuff, friends, colleagues, people that you love will start telling you these things. You're going to fail. This is the biggest mistake of your life. You're going to regret this. And that comes in the form of DMs. Maybe they'll comment on your videos. Maybe they'll text you. Maybe they'll call you. It'll be shared in circles in the rumor mill. And I just want you to know that that's completely normal. And from somebody who's lived way more of that than I should, I'm still standing. And I'm here to share with you today, if you're not getting that stuff, you're probably not playing big enough. People go on like these tirades online talking about, the haters. Yeah, I don't care what a stranger thinks about me. When it's somebody internally, like a friend, a family member, a loved one telling you you're going to fail, that hurts. Maybe you've experienced this. And again, I just want you to know that on today's episode, it's so normal, it's unbelievable. And what I found is if they weren't saying it, you're not playing big enough. So I would take that as a giant compliment. The fact that you're disrupting enough to the point where you've made somebody else in their world look at you and go, holy crap, they're making me uncomfortable. As you're trying to do big things, I want you to understand the thing that you're trying to do is something for you. It's for your family. It's your vision. It's nobody else's. So their opinion really shouldn't matter at all. Their opinion doesn't matter. It's just a waste of hot air. And yes, I know when they text you or DM you or comment on your content or call you and tell you to your face that you're going to fail, or you hear through the rumor mill that so-and-so's talking shit about you, I know how that feels personally. And I just want you to know that somebody else out there who has lived this and lived way more of that than he should, I want you to know that that is not only normal, it is a sign that you are doing something right. When you're disrupting the status quo, which isn't that what you want? For you to be here, Teddy's saying hi, by the way, guys. I'm not going to cut that out. I'm just real as shit here on the podcast. Is as you're disrupting and you're doing stuff different, the world's not going to like that. But that's okay. The fact that you're studying the different stuff and reading the new stuff and going to the conferences, the fact that you've put yourself into this position, you should see the world differently. And that's a good thing. So if the normal people are grabbing at you, maybe you've heard the analogy crabs in a bucket, is people, they put crabs in a bucket, and as one starts climbing up, the other crabs grab him and pull him down, and no crabs can escape the bucket. Well, you have people that live in your circle, right? Maybe your neighborhood, maybe you went to high school with them, they're your friends, they're your family, and you start going and doing something different. By you going and doing something different, it's actually a reflection of them that you are so similar to them. You want to make a change. It actually is more of an inward reflection on them that they're afraid to change. So what they'll do is they'll start clawing at you, trying to tear you down and trying to slow you down. Does that make sense? So if you are doing that and you are getting people talking about that, it is completely normal. And I would lean into that and learn to love and appreciate that. I'll share with you guys a personal story. 6 years ago now, as of last night, was the anniversary of my big neurosurgery, the thing that made me, the thing that birthed the Triumphant Life, the thing that inspired so much change in my life to leave my real estate brokerage, start my online coaching business, and bring me here now. And I, in my heart at that time, decided that I wanted to move to San Diego, and that was my dream. And I wanted to get out of real estate, and I wanted to leave the town that I was in because I felt I had done that in real estate, and I didn't like the business, and I wasn't able to impact as many lives that I wanted to in that certain area. And so I had a vision for my life of me living at the beach and walking the beach with my dogs in the morning and surfing and enjoying the ocean and the ocean life that it provides and building this lifestyle business. Well, when you leave a certain thing that everybody's known you for and everybody wants you to be, the calls start coming. And just from me to you, if you're experiencing them, I understand when you have trusted loved ones call you and say you're making the biggest mistake of your life, when you have friends say you're going to absolutely fail at this, when you have literally people that were your like support system say, I give you 6 months and then you'll come crawling back. When you have those people saying stuff like this, it does tend to weigh on you. And maybe at first you can use this as fuel, and maybe that's for you. It was for me. I used it as fuel. I used it as fuel for workouts, and I'm going to prove them wrong and da-da-da-da-da. It was so funny. Now, 6 years later, now that we have my online business and they see me speaking on stages and they see my book and they see me online, now I'm hearing from those same exact people, we knew you could do it. We believed in you all the time. Exact same people now, 6 years later. And am I mad at them for the comments then? No, because it really shaped me into this, I'm going to go prove them wrong thing. And now looking back later, I'm like, I got nothing to prove wrong. My results prove everything for me. My coaching business now, we're out of Phoenix, Arizona. I'm now housed in San Diego, which is my dream. And I get to surf and I take my dog to the beach, and it was my dream. And I'm living it. And I was able to take a vision that I had in my head on my vision board, nobody else's. It was mine. And I live it. And it was my risk to take, and it was my money to invest, and it was my failure that I could take on. If I failed, it was my brand. And it's funny is when you roll the dice and you bet on yourself, the power that you have by delivering on that. The power that you have by burning your ships and cutting off all opportunity of returning. That's what the burning your ships story is. It's in Think and Grow Rich. A big conquistador goes to take on this battle, and they burn all the ships. And he tells his men, guys, there's no way of retreating. You can't go back. And I think there's something to be said about burning all of your ships. And it was just on my heart today because as I'm living the vision that I created on a vision board, I remember literally sitting there mapping out. I live in San Diego and I get to see the water on a Friday night and watch sunset, and I'm healthy and I'm happy, and we have clients nationwide. It's so beautiful. I have clients now. So I used to be in Phoenix, Arizona, just to give you a geographical kind of landmark. And now I'm in San Diego and I wanted clients nationwide. Well, before I could only grow into Phoenix, and now I have clients. It's so beautiful. Atlanta, Dallas, Texas, Nashville. I just had somebody want to do a collab with me in the UK. And I'm like, wow. We had a guy apply for my program in the Gold Coast in Australia. And I'm like, wow. I didn't think it was going to be that big, which is cool. But I've got to be on stage with my heroes, Ed Milet and Sean Whalen. I've got to be backstage with him and have just genuine conversations with guys that I used to emulate, look up to online. And now I'm sitting there having a conversation with them, backstage. I'm getting ready for my speech as I'm on the same stage as those guys. But why do I share that with you? Because nobody in my world saw that and saw the passion or the want or the dream or the desire that I had 6 years ago when I put that goal in place. And it wasn't their vision to see. Does it make sense? Your vision that you have isn't theirs to see because they're not with you behind closed doors. There's a quote that I absolutely love by Matthew McConaughey in a motivational video. And he goes, when you go to sleep, no matter who you are, you sleep alone. And I think your dreams are similar, where you're the one that gets up and has your morning cup of coffee, and that's you thinking of that. And it's even impossible to verbalize that or let somebody else internalize what you want and what your dream life looks like. And what's really beautiful about that is it is your life to dream up. It is your life to take the risk and go make the mistakes and get the black eyes and the scars, but it's also yours to go get the trophy. And isn't that the most amazing thing on the planet? I believe us as business owners, entrepreneurs, or your goals for that matter, you're playing a solo sport like tennis or like golf, and you're the one on the court. And a UFC, for example, you suck, you get your ass kicked, you're going to be laying there on the canvas, bloodied and beat up. You win, you're the one holding the belt. And I love that risk. So when people are talking, quote unquote shit about you, what they're saying is they just don't have the balls to do what you're doing. So internalize that and know they don't see it in your eyes and your passion. I finally had somebody call me a few months ago, and he was here in San Diego a few months prior to that. And this was one of the ones that told me I was going to fail and I was making a big mistake. And he had been here in San Diego with me for a few days, and I showed him around a couple of my local spots, and he got to see how I feel here, and he got to see some of my life, and he got to see my business, and he got to see me on a couple coaching calls. And I was on a live call, and there's about 35 business owners on it. I'm teaching, he's watching it. Then we go do the San Diego thing, and he called me a few days after he got home, and he said, I get it. I see it now. He goes, when you first started out, I didn't know. I didn't know what you wanted to do. I thought you were making a very big mistake leaving real estate. And he goes, for me to see it now through your eyes and what you've created and to see your students responding, he goes, Nick, I see the comments. He goes, but it was weird to see then into the behind the scenes of your life and watch the way that you treat your students in your coaching program. And I said, brother, I really appreciate that. What he doesn't know is how damaging that comment was for me on the front end. You know, when somebody tells you that you love and care about it, you're absolutely going to fail. You're absolutely making the biggest mistake of your life, right? And I just wanted to hop on today on this episode because if you're getting those comments, I want you to know that there is somebody out there as crazy as fuck like you are that knows what you're trying to build, believes in what you're trying to build, and is the first one to tell you that you're not crazy, you're not dumb, you're not going to fail. Well, you will fail if you don't follow through. But if this is what you genuinely want, and that's the business that you want to build and the lifestyle that you want to create, I don't care what that is for you. Maybe you want to go move to Bali and live off, remotely. Maybe you want to move to Thailand. Maybe you want acreage in the woods. Maybe you want to move to Montana on a farm, on a dude ranch. I don't care. You have your own thing. I'm here to tell you that I believe in you and to stay that course. And if people are telling you you're nuts, you're crazy, you're dumb, you're making the biggest mistake, you're probably doing something right. Now it's on you to follow that dream up with a ridiculous amount of, I don't give a fuck what anybody else thinks. I don't care what anybody else says. I don't care about your comments. I'm going to go do this for me, my family, and my legacy and your life tree. That's what you have to do. And yes, you have to get out of bed every single morning and go hit that grind, hit that marketing, build that brand and build that business. You absolutely have to do that. And I would say that to myself 6 years later saying, yeah, young man, like it's going to be a long, long, long ride. It's going to be a lot of work. And I'm not even close. I hope you understand. I'm not coming at you like, look at me now. I'm not even close to where I'm going. But man, I'll tell you, we've come a long, long fucking way since those comments. Not only do I want you to go prove them wrong, I want you to get to a point where you just don't care anymore, where you're like, no, I'm living it, man. You told me I was going to fail. Yeah, good luck, finding me on stage. I got a funny story for you. So, same people, you're going to make a mistake or whatever. Last year, we had done a real big conference, and there was 500 people there. Beautiful, beautiful conference. That was my brain. Like, I created that. I built that, right? And he was somebody that knew me from a real estate business. And he stops me in the hallway. As I'm running around, he's like, hey, so what's up, man? I got like 3 minutes. What's up? And he's like, this is crazy. And I was like, yeah, it is. And he's like, dude, what was it like being up there on stage? I'm like, it was cool, man, And this was the same person that was one of them that said, hey, that you shouldn't be doing that, And I get it. I appreciate it. But it was so cool to see like my entire vision come full circle and him look at me like living the vision. But here's the point. I'm not going to tell him what to want in this world, and nor should he tell me what I should want. Nobody should be able to tell you what you want in this world. That is not their fucking business. It is your business. And yes, maybe internally with your spouse and somebody very close to you. But other than that, you get to make decisions for yourself. You get to go build what you want. And I think that is the most special and beautiful thing on the planet, that you get to go build the life that you want and take all the risk and take all the pain and do all the reps and build everything. And you win, you win. You lose, you lose. That's okay. So if you're experiencing people as your growth is happening, you're starting to take off, these crabs grabbing you down, just normalize it. And if you're getting those comments, I remember how upset I got. God, I would be upset when somebody would, say that, you're making the biggest mistake of your life. And I'm like, you don't fucking understand. And now I'm like, I appreciate that. You want me to be safe. I get it. You want me to be comfortable. I get it. And I have so much love for that conversation now. Now, should they have shut the fuck up? Yeah. Should they have kept that to themselves? Yeah, that's fine. I'm strong enough to take it. And I'm also strong enough to package this up on an episode and deliver it back to you. And I hope that this is just ringing home for you, that as the people are commenting on your videos or sliding into your DMs or texting or calling you, the ones on the phone were the worst. Like face to face, they wouldn't say it, but over the phone, because they're not seeing you. I remember one night, it was like 10 o'clock at night, and somebody said, you're going to be a fucking failure and you're going to regret this. Okay, well, you're not here building, and that person's not here building today. So what's the difference? So I'm going to make a decision to please you. I'm going to make a decision for me. And I'm also making a decision for the people that I'm here to serve. I'm making a decision based on what my faith is with my relationship with God. I'm making a decision for my family tree. I'm making a decision for my legacy. See, what those fucking morons didn't understand was I have a niece and nephew and now another niece that are watching. They're watching what I'm doing. They're watching what you're doing. Your kids are watching what you're doing. I'm building a new family tree. because it stops with me and starts with me. It stops with you and starts with you. And I was the one willing to take that fucking head on. And of course, I'm supposed to get arrows. If I'm not playing big enough, ain't nobody shooting arrows. If you're not creating content, ain't nobody commenting negative shit on your videos. That's the point. You don't want anybody to talk shit? Just go fucking live in an ice cream shop and sell 31 flavors and just love on people and give them waffle cones all day long. But if you're going to go make an impact in this world and you're going to go make change and you're going to share your voice and you're going to build something, there is no way around it. The sun goes up, the sun goes down. It gets cold in winter, hot in summer. You get this, right? As you grow your business, people are going to talk shit, no matter what you do. No matter who you are, people are going to talk shit. I have seen the most amazing, beautiful creators get shit talked about them. The most passionate, genuine, loving, honest, real people have people go hate on them. I've seen rude people get hate. No difference. There is no way around it. As you are disrupting and as you are building, as you're an entrepreneur upsetting the status quo, people are not going to like that. Why? Because you're doing something that they know they want to do that they can't live through you. Everybody's got that excuse. If you get fit, you did it from steroids. If you got rich, you scam people. If you go broke, you're a moron. You name it, right? And just from a guy that has experienced this at a very deep level. And 6 years later, happy anniversary, young man. 6 years ago today, I was laying in the ICU hospital bed, literally this morning, like would have been laying there with a tube out of my spine, not knowing if I was going to walk again. And to that young man, as scared as you were 6 years ago, the tears running down your face, the pain, the unknown of where you were headed, but I just want to tell you, just grit your teeth, get through this, and just stay the course that you're on. Because that young man, a few months after that hospital, made some very, very hard decisions in his life that set up a trajectory of where we're at now. And looking back now, I have so much love for that young man because I know how hard that was to make those decisions. Today, it's easy to make decisions with the strength and the, who I am today. I wasn't me 6 years ago. A part of me is, but he was scared. He didn't have any support. And he was trying to do it. Now I got a ton of support, outpouring, and a whole community and tribe of people around me, which is so beautiful. But it's so interesting how I had like this one little thought then that's what I wanted. And I just started. And it's crazy what it's built into today. Why do I share that story with you? One, because I think it's important for me to acknowledge my story, especially on my anniversary, which is crazy. And two, I think you need to understand that the people that you emulate today, they didn't get there overnight. And like, I had so many opportunities to fail and go back. I had somebody offer me, I had just got to San Diego, offered me a $250,000 salary to move back to Phoenix. And I said no, like literally instantly. And the person was like, "Are you sure you don't want to think about it?" I said, "No, I don't, because I know where I'm headed. And that doesn't fit me moving back to Phoenix. I want to move in San Diego and I want to, be part of the ocean and I want to surf and this is my life, right?" And I remember telling somebody about that job offer, and their exact words were, "You're a fucking moron." I said, "Okay, hold my beer. I'll be back." And it took a while. And there was a few years there where they laughed at me, still laugh at me. That's fine. Let them chuckle. And that's the point I'm trying to make to you. They're going to laugh anyway. You fail, they're going to laugh. You win, they're going to laugh. Who cares? All that matters is that you care and that you're doing it your way and that you're proud of what you're building and that you're honoring who you are and that you're following your heart and building your legacy and nobody else's. Does that make sense? This is your show. This is your world. This is your universe. It is your brand, your business, your baby, your thing to do with what you should choose. Now, whatever you choose is up to you, and that's amazing. And I just was on my mind, man, just to hop on, and maybe you needed to hear this. Maybe you got a friend that's going through some shit right now. Do me a favor, share this with them. From somebody that went through hell and back and that lost everything and had to rebuild it, then lost everything again and had to rebuild it, and had everybody on the planet telling you don't, that you're wrong, that this is a mistake, and everybody giving you their opinion on what you should do. If that's you, if you really want that thing and you're passionate about it, and you know that winning that thing, that business, that income, whatever, if you know that that thing will completely change your entire trajectory of your life, don't stop and work like a fucking savage till you get it. A lot of people follow me on Instagram and it looks pretty. If you saw the behind the scenes of what happens alone here in my dojo, in my condo, behind the scenes, the work that goes into the marketing, the branding, the recording. It's a private solo game, so you can be public. I love this quote: "We are rewarded in public for what we practice for years in private." And I think that's so true. It's going to take not months, it's going to take years for people to start to come around. And I hope yours is faster. I hope yours is overnight. I hope it's in a day. I hope it's in a week. I'll tell you, for me, it took years for people to come back and say, like my friend, "Brother, you built it." And I said, "I appreciate that. We got a lot more to do." And he goes, "No, but I watched it. I saw it with my own eyes. I saw your students on Zoom. Holy shit, Nick, you did it." And we went and had a beautiful dinner, and it was a good feeling because I didn't stop. And I didn't give up when I had all the chances to, and I had a chance to grab my ball and go home, and I had a chance to get, another salary or whatever. And for you too, I think you're going to be left with these opportunities, these forks in the road that say, do you really want this goal? Do you really want this dream? And I think that's my big main goal with this episode is for you to know that somebody that's out there fighting his own fight, chasing his own dreams, is telling you right now, if you really want that thing, don't give up the fight. If you really want that type of a lifestyle, it is absolutely possible. It is doable. It is all there for you should you continue down said path. And should you mute out the talkers, the hater, whatever you want to. I don't even call them haters anymore, right? Like, you just don't even fucking matter. You're either fuel to drive me more or fuel to continue me. Like, you talk shit, you fuel me to do more. You give me positive vibes, you fuel me to go help my people. So either way, it's all fuel, right? And that's the way that I kind of look at quote unquote haters these days. If you're a bad dude and you got a lot of haters, you're a bad guy, Like, if you're a good guy and people commenting good stuff, you love that and want to go love on more people, right? That's just an amazing thing. But if you're in the journey right now and you're in that hell, just please know you're not alone. And no matter, who you follow or who you watch, I've talked to a lot of the guys that you follow. I've met them, spoke with them, shared the stage with them. They're all human. They're all dudes or gals. They all got the same human experience. They all have bad days, good days, ups and downs in business, fights with their spouses, we're all human. And yes, I appreciate the fact that they may have started 20 years ago and they're on chapter 20 and you're just getting started. That's a good thing. Don't compare your chapter 20, their chapter 20 to where you're at today. But just stay that course, man. Stay that course, because one day you might be able to get to record a podcast episode on your 6-year anniversary and say, glad I didn't listen to you. I'm glad I didn't take your advice. I'm glad I didn't grab my ball and go home. I'm glad I didn't listen to you tell me I was making the biggest mistake of my life. Because what's funny now is 6 years later, the same exact people, humans' voices. I got a list. I know everything that they've said to me. It's burned in my brain. The same exact people are now, brother, I'm so proud of you. Brother, I knew you could do it. I knew you had this in you. Born for greatness, whatever. And I appreciate that. Jump on the bandwagon. That's cool. I'm fine with it. And that's just more fuel, right? It's more fuel that I'm doing something right. It's more fuel for me to stay the course and for you to stay the course. And a lot of that inspired today's episode, which what will this do? Maybe this inspires you to stay the course, and maybe this inspires somebody else to stay the course. And I believe that, God gives us these things in our lives to go make a change. Looking back, 6 years ago, I would have thought, my tumor being in the hospital was the worst thing on the planet to ever happen to me. And at the time it was absolutely the worst thing I think a human should ever experience. The ICU was a very dark and scary place. But looking back now, that was such a blessing that God gave me, that he saw that I didn't even understand was coming, right? And so much healing internally has happened, and so many lives have been touched in that journey of me, healing and the things that I'm sharing and the content that I produce these days, because I'm vulnerable about it. I don't mind talking about it. I've ever made every fucking mistake a human should make. I have fucked up royally, like, whoops, But looking back, I can also see a lot of things that I did really right. Even when I was scared, even when I was wrong, even when I was, chasing my pain with a bottle of whiskey, I can look back and see that there was a lot of right decisions. And I'll tell you, the one that I think I can pass along to you today on a good old-fashioned triumphant life episode is, if you do have that thing that you want. I'm not talking physical shit. I'm not talking a stupid fucking car or a Lamborghini. I'm talking about the business that you want to build, the place you want to live, the life you want to create for your family, the freedom you want to have. What I am saying is there's one skill set that I think that I have developed, and it's just I'm going to keep going. And I'll finish today's episode with one of my favorite stories ever. It's called The Donkey in the Well. So a donkey falls into a well, and the well is so deep, the farmers can't get the donkey out. So the farmer realizes, well, crap, that was a good donkey. We can't get him out. We just should bury him and put him out of his misery. So the farmers are shoveling dirt. He grabs his buddies and they're shoveling dirt onto the well. And the dirt's pouring down on top of the donkey. And as the dirt's coming down and the donkey's facing his internal demise, he's going to die, he just starts shaking off the dirt and he refuses to get buried. And the farmers don't see in the well, so they just keep shoveling and shoveling and shoveling, thinking they're filling the well. Hot sun, they're working, grinding, right? Well, what they don't realize is as their dirt is falling down to bury this donkey, the donkey shakes it off, and now he's a little bit taller, and a little bit taller, and a little bit taller. And as the farmers start shoveling, the dirt gets high enough where the donkey can now leap out of the well. And to me, I just feel I'm too dumb to fail. Like, I just keep shaking it off and moving forward. And you have to develop this, I want my shit so bad, I'm just going to keep shaking off the crap talkers, the doubters, the mistakes, the business partners stealing money from you, all of it. And you have to just shake off that shit and step up and continue to step up and develop these blinders that you know where you're headed, and everything else becomes white noise and distraction that's going to take you off of your goals and dreams. Everything is meant to do that. Other people's problems, other people's drama. What you have to do is develop these laser-like focus blinders that allows you to just continue to head in one direction of that big desired goal and that big desired outcome. And know that all of that is completely normal. They should be talking crap. You're going to have people's drama, other people's problems, and they all bring it to you. Why? Because you're the leader that they come to. You're the one that they see hope in. You're the one doing something different. You're the one trying to change your family's legacy. You're the one creating the content, building the business, taking the risk, making the connections, out there building, grinding, and creating something from scratch. The vision is yours. It's here and here, right? That's where that vision is. You cannot sit and tell somebody that face to face and have them understand it. Why? Because you live it. You pray about it. It's on your vision. Like, you are in that on a daily basis. And I couldn't even comprehend what it was like watching me do all this stuff. But I didn't care because I knew that that's where I knew it. I had every faith in the world. That's where I was heading. That's where I was going. And nobody could ever even understand those emotions because I lived with them 24/7, right? You do too. And I think you develop this deep appreciation for yourself and your goals and your passion. And that, my friends, is what makes that the beauty of your goals and your dreams and the work that you put in and nobody else. And that is an amazing thing. So in summary, I just wanted to record this because as you're out doing something big, I want you to know that somebody out there has a deep appreciation for the work, the time, the mental stress, the physical stress, and everything that goes into the art of chasing your dreams and building something from scratch. And I know that. And I just want you to know how much I love and admire that. That quality says so much about you and what you're trying to build. And I know that there's so many people out there trying to tear you down. I wanted to be one to just lift you up today and just let you know, and maybe we've never met personally. We don't have to. If you're here listening to this and you're somebody that's out building, I know everything about you. I know who you are, and we're kindred souls at that point because we have a lot in common when it comes to wanting to build something different and wanting to create a new legacy and wanting to create something special that helps others and serves others that our families can be proud of. And I have so much deep appreciation for those humans out there. I produce a lot of content for that. That's what this is. And I hope that this hit home for you. I really do. I think this is a big one, here to have, I know for me, having this as the 6-year episode is and probably more special than So I'm honored you're here. For me to be able to even say this is pretty powerful, But if this hit home for you, I'd love to know what stood out. Maybe shoot me a DM on Instagram. I'm Nicholas Trevelyan, easy to find. Shoot me a DM somewhere, and let me know what you learned, or tag me in this and let me know what you learned. Or maybe you have a colleague, a friend, who's out building a business that if you're building something, you're getting hate, you're getting shit, right? You have your own doubts and limiting beliefs, and I produce a lot of content for what I needed 4 years ago is really what I do. And there's the secret. So, I give speeches for me 4 years ago. I produced this for me 4 years ago because I know that if I had somebody like this share this with me, it would have helped a lot. And I had a lot of dark times internally trying to, fight through this and a lot of that private time. And I want to just be a beacon of light and hope for a lot of people out there. That's why I produce so much of our content on Instagram and here. And so share this with somebody if you think they might learn from it. It would be the greatest honor that I could ever get. But, let me just leave you with this. There's one way to fail. There is one way for you to fail, and that's to stop. The only way for you to fail and have everybody that doubted you be like, I told you so. I told you so. I saw you. Is for you to grab your ball and go home. The only way for you to fail is to listen to them and go, you're right. It's the economy. You're right. It's the market. And you just give up on your hopes and on your dreams. That's how you fail. The way that you succeed is you just stay the course, like the donkey in the well. You shake it off and you keep moving forward. And I don't know how long it's going to take for you. And like I said, I'm just getting warmed up where I'm going. For you, I hope it happens fast. I really do. But I know that some of our big goals and big dreams, they might take months. They might take years to get. But isn't that worth it? Isn't that worth getting to the end and being in that moment and holding that trophy or whatever that life looks like and being like, I did this with my hands. I have the scars, the calluses. I have the black eyes. I have the story to tell. And I think there's something to be said about that. Is building something from scratch that nobody saw but you, and then going and building it and being proud of what you just built. And that's what today's episode was about. I hope this hit home for you. I truly want you to win with what you're doing, and I truly want you to be proud of what you're doing. And I want you to look back on what you've built and be like, yeah, I fucking did that. I did that when they told me I couldn't. I did that without their help. I did that, when the timing wasn't right. I did that when I was scared. I did that when I was terrified. I worked through all of that. And I think the art of becoming is who you are. I think the art of going through all of this is who you become, and I wish me 6 years ago even knew that, he knew what we were about ready to get into. I don't think he knew it. Looking back now, I'm so proud of that little guy for having the balls to make that decision to go and to not listen to people and to stay his own course when it wasn't right, when he was told he was an idiot, when he was a moron and he was going to fail. When family tells you you're a failure, it sucks. When people tell you you're making the biggest decision or worst decision of your life, it sucks. You know what though? That was for them to say at that time, because that's what they needed to heal or needed to get out of. That's how they needed to cope. Okay. And since I can't be there with you daily, this is how I'm there with you right now to tell you that, I see what you're building. And I think that that's a really special thing. And I think it's special that you're chasing your dreams. And I think it's going to be even more special when you get there. I love you. I hope you enjoyed this episode. We'll see you in the next. This is my world.